It's time for TWiG. This week in Google, no Jeff, no Stacey, no Ant this week. It's our best of 2021. The memories pile on next on TWiG.
Podcasts you love.
From people you trust. This is TWiT.
This is TWiG. This week in Google, episode 644, recorded Wednesday, December 29th, 2021. The year's best. This episode of This Week in Google is brought to you by Imperfect Foods. Imperfect Foods is catching the food that's falling through the cracks of our food system by sourcing quirky yet delicious foods. Right now, Imperfect Foods is offering our listeners 20% off your first 4 orders when you go to imperfectfoods.com and use the promo code TWiG. And by Wealthfront. To start building your wealth and get your first $5,000 managed for free for life, go to wealthfront.com/TWiG. Hello, everybody. Leo Laporte here. Yes, I'm all alone with my cozy fireplace and my bottle of mezcal because it's time for our annual This Week in Google Best Of. Of all the best ofs we've been doing, and of course, all the shows this week to, end the year are doing best of episodes. This one is, I think, the most fun. We have a lot of fun on This Week in Google, and I think we've got some great stuff for you. One of the things that sticks in my mind most, and I know it drives Aunt Pruitt crazy, is we had a lot of fun with TikTok. Remember those sea shanties that were all the rage? Listen,
Leo, did you trust me? Did I not take you to the Blob Opera?
You did, and I love the Blob Opera. You got another one?
Are you going to trust me for another show opening?
Okay. Yeah.
You got to play a few verses of it.
Okay.
Down under TikTok, shanty songs.
Oh yeah.
TikTok. Aren't shanty songs?
Shanties TikTok. 115.
There aren't sea shanties like
I guess I really need to get on
exactly
TikTok more.
Like Sailor, like, what do you do with a drunken lady? What do you do with...
Right. So go to 115.
Okay.
Parrots, private
sea shanty TikTok.
I might even sing along.
Apparently, what is this? Is this a trend on TikTok now?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Sea shanty talk.
Get that volume. Have you checked your volume yet?
Oh yeah, I gotta make it come out of the right hole. Hold on, it's coming out of the wrong hole.
What happens when you
go back to the beginning? Go back to the beginning.
Oh,
you're messing it up.
The name of the ship was a Billie of tea. The winds blew up her bow, dipped down below my Billie boys blow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done,
that's actually awesome.
Isn't it?
She
Let
had
it go.
not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her a right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum.
Where do you find
when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and
Jeff,
go.
you're ruining it. Where do you find lyrics to this stuff? I mean, how do these people know?
It's the Wellerman song, and I just searched Google. We could do a quintet here.
All right, here's another one. Yeah, that's the problem is we're on Skype, they're on TikTok. Here, let's.
The water, the whale's tail came up.
Is this the same song?
To the side, harpooned and fought, and when she dived down below, may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and
He's actually kind of lit.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum.
You know what? This is actually what makes TikTok pretty amazing.
Isn't it? Because that's the collaborative part where you do one thing and people add on and duet it and duet it and duet it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing. Yeah, if you go down, you also go to, I think, the original one. Hold on here. So, I'm on the wrong page.
I've got some from CNET. Let's see. Sea shanties are taking from Wellerman to drunken sailor. Yeah. Sea shanties are attracting the attention of landlubber TikToks. It went wild. I don't know what happened, said the guy at the center of it all. Is this the original?
That's him.
I think so, yeah.
The name of the ship was a belly of tea.
So he starts it solo, and then other people on TikTok pick it up.
One guy comes back. So one guy comes back, the guy with the really deep voice.
Yeah.
The bass.
He's great.
And then another one does it, and another one does it, and it becomes a chorus.
Yeah.
It's this
Is
collaboration.
yeah, and that's the thing that's cool about TikTok is people can take somebody's track. Here's one with strings. They've added strings to this.
Strings, yes.
The name of the ship was a belly of tea. The winds blew up her bow, up down below my belly boys blow.
I like the
Come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take.
All right, that's pretty awesome. I have to say.
See, the best part is it's not copyrighted, right?
Now
it's in the public domain, so you don't have to worry about
that's
remixing.
probably why sea shanties.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now here's the Club Ready remix. Where's the drop? Here comes the drop. I'm sick of the song already, but still,
it's gonna stay in your head for the next 24 hours.
Wellerman.
If you enjoy that kind of music, I encourage you to listen to Stan Rogers doing Northwest Passage.
Okay.
It's very similar.
And I love it because immediately Hank Green, who apparently has decided TikTok is the hip place to be, not YouTube, is explaining the Wellerman song. Yeah.
Oh, let's hear it.
All right, here we go.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love that there is Sea Shanty TikTok, and I love that I'm on Sea Shanty TikTok, and I hope there's more. But I had some questions about this song because I listened to it with my son a bunch this weekend, and I didn't understand all of the references in it. Now, the main one...
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
Look,
we could have learned something.
I will say this. I like that this is not just people lip syncing again. At least this is some actual effort.
Yeah.
You know,
really
I would watch this because my only impression of TikTok was everybody's doing a lip sync or some sort of a white transition into something else they're doing, and it just got tired.
Well, that's how it started. That's what Musical.ly was. It was just lip syncing, but somehow when they bought Musical.ly, and I think really the main thing that they did right was they said royalty free. You can, and pop stars agreed. You can use our tracks. And it's not going to undermine our sales, and that really is
right.
You know, have you watched the Fran Lebowitz, Martin Scorsese documentary on Netflix yet?
Is it good?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Looks like it'd be pretty funny.
It's called "Pretend It's a City." She's hysterical, but one of the things she says, she's just like so grumpy and brilliant. She's the Louis Black before there was
Louis Black female version.
Yeah. But she says the thing that's great about talent is it's just sprinkled around like sand. It's not, you can't earn it or learn it. You're born with it. And it's completely random. And that's, I think when I heard that, I thought, you know what, that's true. Whether it's writing, painting, ice skating, playing a bass, throwing a football, but
sea shanties
or sea shanty. But what I realized is that's really where YouTube, TikTok, really is a huge thing because it is randomly scattered. And so it's not the people who went to Berklee College of Music or signed a record company deal. In the old days, those are the people we got to hear, or if you were maybe in the subway, you heard it, right? That happened. Used to happen all the time, Jeff. You'd go in the subway,
democratization,
and there'd be some brilliant violinist, and you go, "What? This guy's playing for $1 in the subway."
Yeah.
But now
I played in the subway.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What'd you play? Hockey?
Guitar.
Really? You'd go down there and did you make money?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Some days I made, one day I think I made $150 for
that's awesome.
2 hours, I think.
Were you a student?
Oh man. Nice.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
The best part is because it's the subway, you can literally play the same 5 songs over and over because people are just on their way somewhere.
People are moving. You don't need a repertoire.
I'll be here all week.
Just do the times they are changing over and over.
Over and over. Wait, is that what you would do? Kind of folk?
Yeah. Neil Young, Bob Dylan.
Nice.
John Prine.
Do you still do any of that?
I do, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. See, I when she said that, I thought it's a shame I didn't get any talent because I would have loved to. She also said that musicians, there's no other profession where people just love you because everybody associates a particular song with their youth or good moments in their youth or their child. And so musicians unlike almost any other profession, have this, people just love them because it's this memory of their youth and so forth. And it made me sad. Yeah. That, she talked about it. She plays the cello or played the cello at one point. She said the elementary schools would, you get a free instrument up to a certain point and then you have to buy your own. And they took her cello back and she said, I need a cello. Her parents were trying to figure out how they could buy one. And finally she goes downstairs. She says, Mom, Dad, don't buy me a cello. I will never be good at this. It's a complete waste of your money. I don't have that talent.
Unlike what the hardhead told me in that trombone of his.
Did you buy him a trombone?
I did, and he was good. He used it up until we got over here in California. He
stopped playing
elsewhere. Yeah, he was focusing more on other stuff, particularly with sports and whatnot.
Oh, sports. Okay.
Yeah, definitely sports.
Yeah, nice.
Girls here and there.
A few girls. Lots of sports.
But he was really good. I give him credit. It wasn't a total waste of my money because he was really good. He was first chair pretty much as soon as he picked it up.
Are you sad that he didn't keep going?
Yeah, a little bit. Because I like how having an instrument in your hands just keeps you busy, and it's just something about the mental health part of it too,
Did he like it?
Yeah, he loved it. He loved it. Yeah. He was good. And it's funny, every now and then I'll catch him listening to classical music.
Good. So he has an appreciation.
Right. And I can remember just thinking back to when people would laugh at us growing up for listening to classical music. But, he just embraced it. Him and his brother, they both enjoy jazz and classical music as well as some of the other wild and crazy popular music that's all over the likes of TikTok.
So, if you're not going to be a professional trombonist, learning appreciation for music and that's a lifelong game. Yep. That's a plus.
You want a light moment here? A light moment?
Yeah.
Bernie memes.
I love these Mitten memes. Now, where did the mittens come from?
It was a woman. It was a teacher who evidently knitted them for him.
And he wore them where?
At the inauguration.
That's how fast this happened. This was from this morning. Bernie sitting wearing these mittens, and now they're putting him everywhere. In fact, there's a sticker already.
It's just the greatest.
Here he is in that line of workmen building New York.
You gotta love the internet, man. You gotta love
Mr. Jarvis, you took part of my pick of the week.
Here he is at here he is at DMV getting his license renewed. Yeah. It's partly because his attitude. There's a t-shirt already. Here he is. I don't know, in the Bundestag. I don't know. Here he is in the Hall of Mirrors in Versailles. Here he is at a basketball game. Here he is. Oh, yeah. He was part of this very important photograph wearing his mittens. They're pretty cute, I got to say. Oh, and this happens, of course, all the time to me when I wear mittens. The very famous meme. So Bernie this is how he was dressed. It was apparently very cold. It was snowing for part of it. So he's wearing his snowsuit and some big knitted mittens. And he's sitting with his legs crossed and his arms crossed. And,
looks like a cranky old man.
Life is like a box of chocolates, and you just never know who's going to sit on the bench.
This is so good.
Next to you.
It's just the greatest. See, the internet's a beautiful
thing. Did you know that he was in the Queen's Gambit? I don't know. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, you may not have known. It's a little
hard to move the pieces with the bits.
Yeah. There he is with Han and Chewie on the Millennium Falcon. Boy, I want the sticker. That's what I really... Here he is. He's even helping out in the president's room in the Congress as the new president signs some proclamations. He's got a little folding chair there in the corner. There he is with Paulie Walnuts at the Pig Store Cafe. Yep. Hanging out, waiting for.
He's brilliant.
Yeah. Even on the moon.
Sorry, Ant.
Even on the moon.
Know it was down there.
Too late. Even on the moon. There's Bernie. Yeah. Everywhere. This was, I think, the first one I saw. He's just sitting at a table selling CDs at the back of the concert hall.
Merchandising.
Yeah, merch, concert merch. Got it here. Get your T-shirts here. There he is, the fly on Pence's head. Yeah, he was at the debate. People don't realize that.
There was another picture of him carrying an envelope and something. So they put out his schedule, like 10 o'clock Joe's thing, 11 o'clock run by post office.
Yes, on one of those special chair elevators that they sell. You're going.
See, okay, so
here he is on the beach with. Oh, wait a minute! This is actually on the inaugural stand. Chris Christie has decided to join him in the beach chair. That's good. That's a reverse meme. That's a reverse one. Yeah.
So, Stacey, you see, this is where, going back to the prior discussion, this is where the unlimited creativity is so wonderful. Now, there's no business model behind any of that, but people did it for joy and love. And the question is, how do you give credit for that? If you wanted to encourage that, how do you create business models around that? I don't know, but it's fun.
This is the first.
Well, we see this. It's obviously out there and people are doing it.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, you're going to have to you have to make it easy for people to find things. I mean, any of us who used Alta Vista or remember the original Yahoo page Yahoo pages. You have to, even if you have a distributed system, you're going to need to find ways to get people to see what you're building. I mean, I don't know how else to tell you, Jeff. Business is
I'm just speculating. That's all.
I think there's going to be a new book. Forget of Where's Waldo's? Where's Bernie?
Oh, we'll get into copyright trouble.
This is the last. That's the Last Supper. Yeah, the Last Supper. And there he is.
You on audio?
Yeah. I feel bad if you're on audio. You're missing all the fun.
Because it's just the perfect Bernie pose too.
It's everything. It's the mittens. It's the pose. It's the whole thing.
It's his personality.
It's the whole thing.
It's just
look. Here's a guy actually selling a kit.
The look,
the Bernie kit.
Look.
Steal his look. You can't quite get those mittens though, because those are handmade, handcrafted, made by. They're not mittens.
Aren't they?
No, these are gloves. He's wearing mittens.
He's wearing
made by Jen Ellis, a teacher from Essex Junction, Vermont, who gave them to him
she can go into business now.
2 years ago. She was surprised when he began wearing them on the campaign trail. They're made from repurposed wool sweaters and lined with fleece, made from recycled plastic bottles.
Of course.
Oh, golly. I love it. I'm glad we can be happy again. We can be joyous.
Isn't that great?
We're happy again.
Reason to bring you on is because you sent me an email the other day, said, here's an NFT of one of my images. And I was so taken with that. I said, let's get Trey on because we have been trying, Trey, for a month to figure out what the hell these non-fungible tokens are. And if anybody should know, it's you. You're not the first artist to do this. In fact, this has been, I think, mostly a boon for artists.
No, I'm not the first. And I found out about it the first time, 2 years ago. I have a friend named Yash, who was one of the founders of Pinterest, and he actually came out here to Queenstown, New Zealand, came here into the studio and was telling me all about NFTs and how big they're going to be.
2 years ago.
Yeah. And I said, I don't really understand. So he just explained it to me for hours, okay, I get it. So I almost did it way back then, but I thought, well, sometimes it's not good to be an early adopter. Sometimes it is. But now I think the wave of interest is so high that it's probably the right time to get in.
Grimes got a lot of attention for selling $5.8 million of her art, digital art. A lot of it animated. I think all of it animated for in 20 minutes, almost $6 million in 20 minutes. The National Basketball Association, the NBA's made $200 million selling basketball highlights on NBATopShot.com. The first time I became aware of what now we call NFTs was CryptoKitties, which was a site you would use cryptocurrencies, I guess Bitcoin at the time, to buy these digital cats that would mate. But Trey, it's kind of speculation, really. I mean, because there's no tangible good. Like if I have one of your pictures on my wall at home, that's a tangible good. Not necessarily one of a kind, but it's a thing, a physical thing. You're not selling, when you sell an NFT of your art, you're not selling the print, are you? Or are you?
No, but you can attach real life goods to your NFT.
Okay. But you don't need to.
Or send someone a link in the Skype chat. Like this guy made some shoes, and you can. It's like a digital shoe that spins around. But then, like, if you buy it, you also get the real shoe. And I think in 24 hours, he made about $3 million.
Oh my God!
So,
Jesus.
Yeah.
I think. And can you, Trey? Can you restrict? Can you put conditions in the contract about what the owner does and does not get?
Yes, you could put that in the contract because it's a smart contract tied to the Ethereum blockchain. So you can put the parameters in there. You can really do almost anything that you like. You can do. You can put it up for an auction, so there's one of one. You can put up a photo or a piece of art that's an open edition, and you put a price on it. And if it sells 560 units, then those 560 things are minted, and that's all that will ever be minted with that particular piece of art. Nice. There's lots of different schemes and scenarios for selling stuff. And I think so you said it's speculation. It's totally speculation. And although here's my theory.
To be fair, is buying art, Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh. If you buy as an investment instead of just something pretty to put on the wall, and I think that's where most fine art is sold as an investment, you're speculating it'll be more valuable in the years to come.
Right. And I think they're right to speculate on it because right now there's so many Bitcoin millionaires out there. They're just they're crawling with them. And people don't know. Right now people buy Bitcoin and they just play the market. They wait for it to go up 4% or down 3%. It's like trading the euro for the yen. And that's a little boring. It's much more interesting to buy, instead of having an invisible Bitcoin, to have like a digital piece of art. And the art, there's secondary and tertiary markets, so it gets sold and resold. So why wait for Bitcoin to go up 3% when you could buy a piece of art that'll jump up 50% in a few weeks?
So you think it's the case that people who are spending money on NFTs are not taking dollars, say, and turning it into Bitcoin or Ethereum and then spending it? This is stuff they have in their wallet. And so it's just like buying more crypto. That's
what it sounds like.
It's kind of like that?
Right.
Okay.
They're probably sitting on hundreds of thousands or millions in Bitcoin, and they have it in their Coinbase account. And then these NFT sites, they often use this little wallet called MetaMask. So they can just convert it to Ethereum, send it to their MetaMask wallet, and they can just go stir crazy and buy all kinds of stuff.
Is it usually Ethereum when you're doing an NFT?
Yeah.
That's actually good news because Ethereum is not nearly so energy dependent as Bitcoin is, right? I've been told. Somebody said, Leo, you're an idiot. Don't worry about it. Because I was complaining. Actually, I was quoting Seth Godin, who did a blog post saying, the only thing bad with NFTs is it's going to hasten climate change because there's so much energy involved in these transactions. But that's not the case with Ethereum.
I don't totally understand the mechanics of Ethereum, but I do know that it can do a lot more transactions.
Yeah.
And there's new with the new Ethereum 2. They've got a lot of different wild computer sciencey techniques that are happening that can, makes it like 10,000 times as efficient as Ethereum 1.
Yeah, its proof of stake is less energy intensive than proof of work, which is.
And the main reason Ethereum was developed was to do smart contracts like NFTs.
Right. Okay.
So I think it's a really interesting time because, crypto has always been very esoteric for the common person.
Yes. This does not make it any less. I got to be honest. Right. This just makes it even crazier.
We're getting like the muggles in. People that buy all these NBA cards and all this kind of stuff. And so these are like regular people. And so now there's non-computer science nerds like us that are getting into this, collecting stuff. So it's entering a certain zeitgeist. It's still early, but it's nice to see so many people playing the game. It's just a game.
It does remind me of trading cards.
Yeah, it's very much like that. In fact, that's what Seth Godin used the Hannes Wagner card, of which there are only 10, as an example. This, that piece of cardboard has no intrinsic value.
Or Superman 1.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you're a Superman fan, or if there's any Hannes Wagner fans left, because he played 100 years ago, you could say, well, he's a fan. But really, that's not why people buy Hannes Wagner baseball cards. They buy it because of its intense value, and they spend millions of real money on these things. Trey, do you see
your banana?
Sorry? Go ahead, Matt.
I was just...
Did you
remember
banana?
The fine art? It was a banana taped to the wall by an artist. You remember that?
Yep.
Another performance artist ate it. Do you remember that?
I remember that too.
And then, so that was his art, was to eat the banana. But part of the contract for buying the banana taped to the wall was that the banana would be regularly replaced by the curator.
So it's okay to eat it. The banana, by the way, was priced at $120,000.
Yeah.
Maurizio Catalan, he titled it Comedian. And then along comes another comedian to eat it. This is part of Art Basel in Miami Beach. So, Trey, do you see yourself as selling your goods, your images this way entirely, or is this just kind of a fun little sideline?
It's a fun experiment. I still sell big prints.
Yeah. People want them on the wall, right?
Yeah. This sounds a little name droppy. You guys know I don't take myself seriously, but I did have 2 famous celebrities become collectors lately. Edward Norton and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Nice.
Whoa. Yeah.
It is name dropping, but it's okay. If it were me, I'd do it the same.
Do you guys hang out or?
Hey, Trey has introduced me to some major celebrities. Hans Zimmer is a friend. The last time you were in Petaluma, you came here with MySpace Tom, and we went out for Korean tacos.
Wow.
Yeah, so everybody famous I know through Trey. He knows everybody.
Wait a minute, you met Hans Zimmer?
I didn't meet him. Trey's friends with Hans Zimmer. Trey's like his buddy, right?
Yeah, we're
MySpace.
friends. We traveled around Europe together.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask from the standpoint of the artist that's a starving artist and happens to be able to make a sale of an NFT. What is it from a payment standpoint? I mean, are we talking real money that actually shows up, or is it just going to sit somewhere in a crypto wallet somewhere that they have to sit on forever and ever and just buy more crypto-based items?
Good question. I'd explain how it works. So you take a piece of art. It can be a photo. It can have music attached to it. It can be animated or whatever. You upload it to one of these marketplaces. Like the one I'm going to put mine on first any day now is one called Maker's Place. And then so you upload it just like you're uploading a picture to Flickr or whatever. And you write a little description and you put how you want to sell it, what kind of price, and then it goes live. And for example, the way that the money works is, let's say they buy it for $1,000. Okay, Maker's Place takes 15%, and 85% goes to the original artist. So that's really quite good.
That's better than the usual gallery commission, right?
Yeah, way better.
As soon as someone buys it, that money is transferred into your Coinbase account or your MetaMask wallet, and then you can convert that to US dollars anytime.
Okay.
So you can cash it in.
Yeah, even better, because this is a smart contract, if someone buys that on Maker's Place and then they resell it, the original artist gets 10% of every subsequent sale.
Oh.
So until the end of time, you'll get a 10% royalty on that piece.
So I could see your interest in this for the artist. This is a great deal.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Maker's Place, huh?
No.
Yeah.
I can see the gears turning.
Maker's Place is digital. These are digital art. And that's one of the things I think that confuses people about NFTs. As I said, I got from you, I still have it, this a picture of the space shuttle launch. It's beautiful. Yeah. That's a physical thing. It's probably a print, so there may be other copies of it. That's very common these days. But, you may also, if you have a Van Gogh, you might have the original. I a digital thing, the thing that confuses me is you can make infinite copies. Does Maker Place prevent you from making infinite copies of the art you just bought?
Yeah, they have a pretty tight authentication process.
Okay.
Right? Because when it's authenticated in the blockchain, Trey's the original creator, only 20 exist or only one exists.
But it's digital. How can they keep me from making another copy? I don't understand.
Well, technically, I could take the same photo and upload it on another site.
True.
Like Foundation.
So there's a certain amount of trust, I guess.
Gateway.
Right.
But there's ways they can check the Ethereum blockchain to see if the same thing's already out there.
Okay.
So that's why it's just so trusted. And the mind flip that people have to go through is, these Yuval Noah Harari books like Sapiens, that things only have humans are the only animal on the planet that believe in fictions, and if we all believe
we believe in a lot of fictions, as it turns out.
Yeah,
like money.
You can't see a meter, you can't weigh it, but we all agree on how big a meter is.
Yeah.
So then we can use it to measure stuff.
Right.
It's the same thing with money, and now the same thing with digital art. And you can see so many people are buying it that there's enough people that believe in it just to keep it going. Same thing with Bitcoin. People didn't know. We got to get more and more people to believe in this story. But now so many people believe in that story, the story grows.
You could put code into the image too, right? Like sort of steganography, or you could insert something into the actual image itself.
But that'd be copied, Matthew. If I copy bit for bit the thing I bought, it's going to be copied with the bit for bit. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Technically, you can go screenshot my photos anytime and make them your screensaver or whatever background.
Yeah.
But there's only one that exists in the Ethereum blockchain, and it's authenticated.
That's the real one. Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the real one.
Trey tells me that I think he sold one NFT of his for $500,000. They're doing quite well for talented artists like Trey Ratcliff. I'm glad he could come on and explain it all. We're going to take a break. When we come back, lots more of the best of this week in Google. We're going to talk more about TikTok. Yes, we got some Linux and a lot more. But first, let me talk to you about a company that has a name that just doesn't match my experience. It's Imperfect Foods. And, we started doing Imperfect Foods, Lisa and I, because we realized that we wanted to help the world. We wanted to help the environment. Did you know, this is a stat that just is terrible, 35% of the food supply in the United States goes unsold or uneaten every week. More than a third down the drain. That's not right. That's crazy. And it's all because grocery stores want everything to look just right. They don't want anything that's going to bruise. They'll put aside a third of all the produce just because it doesn't feel right. They think it won't sell. Well, you know what? It will sell because it's great. It's delicious. It's not imperfect. It's just different, like you and me. Imperfect Foods is sourcing quirky yet delicious foods, delivering them to you in a way that reduces emissions, reduces packaging waste, saves you time, saves you money. I mean, it is perfect. It's perfect. But they still call it imperfect. I'm not going to change that. Wouldn't it be great if getting your favorite groceries put time back into your week instead of taking it away? Especially now, it's getting a little colder, a little scarier to drive. Why not stay home, cozy, let Imperfect Foods deliver you? They call it, and I love this, intentionally sourced groceries with just a few clicks. Imperfect Foods, IMPERFECT Foods, is a perfect grocery delivery service. They offer an entire line of sustainable groceries. They taste delicious. They reduce waste. The only catch, they may not deliver in your area. Please go to imperfectfoods.com. See if you can get them. Imperfectfoods.com. See if you can get them. If you can, hallelujah. Once you sign up, you personalize your weekly grocery order. And by the way, it's not just produce. There's pantry staples. We got blue corn chips on our last basket. Lisa got some blueberries. She knows I love blueberries. They're really great. They're not imperfect, but they call them imperfect. Anyway, okay. Yummy snacks. Plus, your order comes on the same day every week. Ours is Thursday. Your day will vary because you know what they do that's really cool? To save emissions, they deliver weekly by neighborhood. So you're all bundled together in a day with everybody else in your neighborhood. That produces 25 to 75% fewer emissions than all those people going to the grocery store, right? It's actually reduces emissions compared to people driving to the grocery store. Plus, who wants to drive to the grocery store? When they are, the problem is I think people, when they hear the name, they go, oh yeah, they're going to be bruised. They're going to be funky looking. They're not. I was kind of stunned when we opened the first box. I went, wow, that broccoli is the best looking. It literally was fresher than any broccoli I've ever had before. It was incredible. I couldn't be happier with Imperfect Foods. Sure, when you go to the grocery store, you can get a pomegranate the size of your head. Yeah, but so the Imperfect Foods pomegranates are smaller. They're like, baseball size instead of grapefruit size. They taste better that way. That's perfect. I don't have a problem. Okay, but they call them imperfect, so I'm going to let them call them imperfect. You can get everything it saves you a trip to the grocery store, basically. And by the way, I know sometimes when you get these deliveries, you go, oh, what about the packaging? Say goodbye to packaging guilt. Imperfect Foods is the only national grocery delivery company that makes it easy to return your packaging after every order. We used to order from the local grocery store. Everything would come in a plastic bag, everything. It's like 40 plastic bags. That didn't make me feel good at all. Imperfect Foods doesn't put in plastic bags. No, it's a nice box, which you can, again, return after every order. It's just nice. It's great. Right now, Imperfect Foods is offering our listeners 20% off your first 4 orders when you go to imperfectfoods.com. Use the promo code TWiG, T-W-I-G, 20% off your first 4 orders. That's up to an $80 value at imperfectfoods.com when you use the promo code TWiG, imperfectfoods.com, promo code TWiG. Imperfectfoods.com, promo code TWiG. Really happy to support this one. They do a great job. One of the questions I like to answer, completely nobody ever asks, but I like to answer, is Linux really better? Let's go to the terminal to find out. Keep scrolling. Oh, here we go. This is for you, Aunt Pruitt. Oh, I gotta fix this. I apologize. I'm having the Linux problem.
Linux. All my audio clips.
Wait a minute. I can fix it. Do you mind if I take a moment? I got to go to terminal.
I'm sure Ant will forgive that, yes.
He's got to go to terminal. What was that Linux admin?
I got to go to terminal. No, wait a minute. To be fair.
He knows what he's doing, Ant, and that's how Linux...
At lunch, I decided for no good reason to blow out my Linux install, and in about half an hour, I installed a completely new Linux on here. But I was concerned because one of the things we'd done before is set the default rate and pulse audio to 48 kilohertz. And I was a little concerned, but then I played a YouTube video for John and it was fine. So I don't know.
We're just going to have to go with the TikTok musical every time for the testing.
Apparently TikTok.
That's what it sounds like.
Every single time.
Yeah. Now I have to remember where it is. I think it's in
/bin.
It's close. Here it is. It's in /Etsy /bin / there we go. And then and then inside Etsy Pulse, I need
what are you saying about Linux?
All I do is just right click. All I do is right click.
Should I play it on my Chromebook? It works every time.
Nano daemon conf.conf. And then, I have to sudo. Wait a minute, sorry.
Wait a minute, you didn't have the right admin right, sir.
No, I don't have that. I have to sudo that. Wait a minute. Sudo first. Okay. Control A. Sudo. Okay. And then here's my password. Just be patient now. It's very easy. We're going to go down here in the daemon. We're going to go down here. and find the default bit rate here. You see the alternate sample rate. The default sample rate is 4041, but I don't want that. I want the default sample rate to be 48K. Okay, you remember, right? See, you know this. You know this. You know it's easy. And the thing is, if you expect if you expect the operating system to do all that stuff, you never really understand how computers work. I'm just saying.
Oh, gosh.
Save that. Okay, now I have to restart Pulse. Sudo. Pulse. Can't remember how to do that. Stop. Let's see if that works. No. Pulse audio. What is it? Is it Pulse audio?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. I should have written a set alias to fix that. That's exactly right. I don't remember the name of the demon. Shoot. Oh, well, never mind.
Can we all get a look at Mr. Jarvis's face during this right now? As he's
You can't do this on a Chromebook.
You're not selling it. I gotta tell you.
I wanted to use Signal on my Chromebook, and to do that, I have to have Linux. And of course, what happens? I go in, I can't do it from my, what are they called this week? Workplace account.
Oh, that stupid workplace account.
Yep.
How do I restart the server is what I need to do. Let's see. I've got the daemon conf. Usually by now the chat room has helped me.
No, the chat room is having fun with you.
No, we're not going to tell you the command, Leo.
There it is. Kill and start.
Thank you. Pulse audio. That's
kill
what it was.
and start.
See, I can count on Keith 512. Sudo pulse audio. That's what it was. Audio -- kill, and then no daemon process. That's okay. I'm going to start it now.
So good. So you're starting it.
Yeah.
You got to put your tag.
Oh, right? I shouldn't have run it as root. That's my problem. There you go, right there.
Oh boy.
Okay, let's do a kill again. Oh, I have to do probably sudo kill. Now it'll say, "Oh, I know that one." Yeah. Now I have to not sudo pulse audio.
This is the best twig ever.
And now let's go back to Bridgerton.
Yay!
Already
what
in
a reward
progress
for helping you out there.
Holy cow. Of course, I closed that tab. Wait a minute.
Best twig ever.
Let's go back. Here we go. One more time. Let's see if it fixed it.
This is what you call a honey.
No, it didn't fix it.
No, sure didn't.
Jeremy, can you play the
clip? I probably should reboot. I just might have to reboot. Shut up. So, Jeff, actually, I might as well start with this. Sent along this tweet about TikTok and how easy it is. We were talking over the weekend about why the youngs love TikTok. And what I didn't know is that a lot of what people do in TikTok is all done in camera. My son, who does a great TikTok channel, he does cooking on TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah, in fact, I'll show you the link. It's sodium_deficiency. I have no idea.
Interesting.
What the youths these days. And it's hard to find him because he doesn't have his picture on it. Look, it's so hard to find. I got a 404. Wait a minute. Let me type it right. He has a picture of somebody else, not his picture. But so he does all these food things on TikTok. And I'm like, why don't you ever cook these for me? Oh my God. This is amazing. I had no idea. He learned everything he learned on YouTube. So there he is. So then I asked him.
Go ahead, Hank.
Go ahead, Hank. You go, Hank. So then I asked him, so how do you edit? He says, well, I edit in Premiere because he's learned how to edit right in the old days. But look at this. This is a TikToker. I don't know I don't know what her name is. So Eden,
is it there?
Eden Harvs, Harvz. But she's going to show us how they edit in camera. You can do all this stuff in TikTok. And if you've ever seen TikTok,
my trick also is to hold down the red button and let go when you want to stop filming. That is the best way to get it slick. Okay, let's go.
So, and we call that edit in camera, right? Where
yes, there's some things you can do in camera as far as a transition standpoint.
Yeah, but watch this. This blew me away. Now you tell me if you could do this in your camera. So she's playing music. And here's one thing that's really cool is TikTok pauses the music, so you're matching the music as you do it when you don't record. So that makes it a lot easier to do that.
Yeah,
part.
That's TikTok magic there.
What she's doing with a hand, watch this. So she's just moving the camera around. She's doing a face wipe and stuff like that. But somehow TikTok is... I guess they're putting in transitions or something. I don't know.
You'll see.
Watch the final version because I don't understand how you get from what she's
like.
It's Maya he, Maya ha.
Sounds like TikTok magic.
It sounds like something they're doing in the app. Now watch. So she's showing it as she made it. See how she's doing a wipe with her hand? And TikTok is somehow
that's
just
all TikTok.
It's like she takes her head off. That's amazing.
That's beautiful.
Isn't
that's
it?
Beautiful work.
Isn't that amazing?
That's that's good. TikTok magic there because you can do in-camera transitions. So a lot of cinematographers do it pretty commonly, but they also do that with the idea knowing that it's going to go into Premiere or Resolve, and they're able to sync those cuts up to where it looks the way it did. Right there, TikTok is just using AI and saying, "Hey, this is looking like a good cut point." And I didn't even.
But I think she kind of did it.
Cool.
Though.
She might have done it all in camera. I don't know.
She did it. I think just by hitting it off. Then she
turning off at exactly the moment when her hand.
Right. She gives it the exact point that it needs to transition. I think the app is smart enough to know this is a cut point.
Right.
I think Instagram is trying to get along that same path with Reels. I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I have been trying recently.
Leo, give her a plug. What's her account?
Oh, I'll have to look it up again. It was Eden, EDEN.
It looked great.
Yeah. Well, and this is, by the way, I mean, in TikTok, I have to say, there are people. A lot of it's just dumb. Women showing off their bodies and things, but there is some stuff that's really amazing. EDENHARVZ. Eden Harvs. Here's another one. Taylor, as long as we're doing TikToks, Taylor Lawrence tweeted this out. She says, "Queen Grandma of edits." Watch
is good.
Watch this one. This will make you realize it's not just for the kids.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Now, clearly, she's using an editor to do this. This is not.
That's beautiful.
But this is where TikTok really is kind of amazing. I see this effect a lot.
That's rotoscoping.
Well, Pink does it a lot.
That on the phone.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, she's not handling the phone. Look at that. Queen Grandma. That was awesome. Impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
We can spend the whole next hour just watching TikToks, which is what people do.
No, we cannot.
Okay. I don't want to admit this. But if you scroll enough on TikTok, they actually put a slide up with a guy saying, "Okay, you've been enough time." Oh,
really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they do.
You've spent enough time on TikTok. Take a break.
Oh, nice.
That's really embarrassing when you get to that, because that means you've spent a lot of time scrolling.
That's the equivalent of Netflix. Like, are you still watching this?
You couldn't possibly.
You know that you should not be watching 9 consecutive hours of television.
Don't you think you need some sunshine right now, dude?
So tempting. It's so tempting. I've been watching. I was never into car racing, but I saw some TikToks of pit crews in Formula One, and these guys in 3 seconds they change all 4 tires. I'm watching this. I said, that can't be real. So there's a really good series. It's in their 3rd season now on TikTok on Formula One racing.
Drive to Survive.
I can't stop now.
I love it.
I'm hooked.
I was just talking about
this yesterday. Have you ever seen it in real life?
No.
It's that docuseries, the camera work, the lighting, the editing, the sound design, it is worth watching it just for that. Forget the stories behind it, but that whole series is like watching a trailer. If you turn on a movie trailer, it's got the same
very tight.
Just oh gosh, but That series is, I love it.
Oh, well, I'm glad to know. Now,
So-
I told Lisa we have to go to Monaco next year.
Oh, take me.
No, here's what you can do. There's
Actually,
actually a text story there, y'all.
what is this sound? Is this me?
Okay.
It must be me.
That's you, sir.
It's me. No, I was playing Caspi. One of my favorite ones. There's this
Are
woman.
we boring you,
young
Jeff?
woman,
What's going on? Is Jeff
Well, you
doing his
started
own
me,
show now?
And you see,
He can't stop
The
TikToking.
internet is addictive, you see.
Yeah.
And it's designed for this. Ooh.
What are you doing, Jeff? Jeff, eyes ahead, please.
Uh-oh.
I'm so glad we're
Clap if you hear
recording
me.
this.
Clap if you hear me.
What do you do with your kids, with your students? You must, I mean, you're doing Zoom, right?
It's graduate school.
Okay,
I don't do
so
that.
it's assumed that they're paying attention.
And plus, Leo, I just kind of, by my presence, demand their attention.
Oh, good. Apparently I don't.
There's that.
There's one young woman on TikTok. I've got to find her. And so, she looks like she's about 21. She has a voice as if it comes out of the 1940s.
Is she from Israel?
No. She's just unbelievable.
I'm actually glad that the Trump administration didn't dismantle TikTok. I mean, maybe they're spying on us. I don't know.
So who cares?
It feels like there's such creativity going on, and it's so vital. I really think it's great, and I'm sure that's the same on Instagram and Snapchat and elsewhere. But it's really a very exciting place to be. Now, this is not moral panic. This is really a scary story from the Washington Post. She never returned her VHS copy of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I love this story.
The DA's office.
This happened to me.
20 years later,
Really?
she faces a felony charge. She was trying to change the name on her Texas driver's license. When they ran a background check, all they're seeing is these two words, felony embezzlement.
So Blockbuster back in like 1999 or 2000 sent a ton of people to collections for tapes that they either did or did not take out that were never returned.
This happened to you?
But this happened to me. When I was in this habit, I did not get charged with a felony, but I did get sent to collections, which for me was a huge shame.
Oh, that's terrible. No, that's almost worse than a felony.
Blockbuster, Blockbuster.
That's the jail you don't get out of.
Had they had some sort of database error, and what happened is people who took out movies like right after you on the card or something got attributed to your card. So they had me taking out some video I never did. Like, so this woman, and there's a bunch of people in the comments talking about it, but it's from the same era when Blockbuster got super aggressive and had this whole database issue.
They were jerks.
So
in fact, this woman didn't take it out. She said, but she was living with a guy who had kids, and she thinking he went and got it and didn't take it back. What's even funnier is the cast of Sabrina got into the act. Including Melissa Joan Hart. Yes, who did the shruggy emoji. Okay, that's terrible.
No, this was highly traumatizing.
Yeah,
I remember once flying out of the country, and I remembered, oh hell, I didn't return a video. And I thought I was going to come back bankrupt. Because you just
the fees just mount up.
People.
You know, compound interest works both ways, buddy boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a ridiculous industry that was.
Nobody is flying to join Google's FLoC, says The Verge. Firefox has already said we're not going to do it. Apple's Safari won't do it. Mozilla, Vivaldi, Brave, all out. In this article by Dieter Bohn, he says Edge, but I have to say, when they asked Microsoft about Edge, their response was very equivocal. In fact, to the point where I feel like Microsoft was hedging their bets and said, yeah, we're going to wait and see. We might well use FLoC. Just as a point of information, Steve Gibson did about half an hour on FLoC yesterday on Security Now, which I encourage people to listen to. It's at the end of the show. He says it's a good idea and it works as advertised, that it is privacy protecting, and it's very cleverly implemented to do that. I pointed out, of course, Google, has to make advertising work. So Google is
for itself and many, many others.
Yeah. So Google's kind of got to do the best it can to reassure people on privacy, but still they have to give something to advertisers. That's what I was just talking about. And what Google did point out is that there are a number of categories that they don't sell ads against, including things like your mental state, your previous incarceration, whether you're pregnant, any health conditions. They don't sell ads against those, and FLoC will not add those features to any of its cohorts. So that might have been a little bit reassuring.
Pregnancy is interesting because that's highly lucrative.
Well, if you look at what they won't sell, I mean, liquor, right? The stuff that Google won't do ads for is actually a list of stuff that people buy ads for. So I think this is why I feel like Google might be a little bit sincere in that they're trying.
We need to reinvent advertising.
Yes.
We need to get past what it was.
Well,
and if we're going to shoot down everything that comes up just because it came from Google.
Well, no, they're not shooting it down because it came from Google. Originally, and EFF shot it down originally because they want to stop the web being built on an ad-supported model. That's their idea, is that your data should not be your payment for surfing the web. We should come up with something better. And it might be something like, what we're doing.
Well,
like with Club TWiT.
Okay,
right.
so then we end up with a world where everything's behind a paywall. I wrote a tweet about this last week. That my dystopia is that everything goes behind a paywall at major media, and that everybody has a Substack, and the only thing that's free is disinformation.
Well,
with crappy ads.
I think that's a little crazy. I think what's going to, I tweeted just the other day, I realized I subscribe to 11 publications, which is insane. I spend about $1,000 a year.
Yeah, thank you.
Very odd.
Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, thank you.
No, I know. It's my job. I do it because I run into paywalls all the time. But it is frustrating also to try to.
I'm like you. I pay for
to
stuff.
link to people to content.
Yeah, I pay for more stuff. I don't think I'd ever give Bloomberg any money, except that I have to use Bloomberg's materials on our shows.
I give Bloomberg.
It's $35 a month, and they have that gosh darn Bloomberg terminal. They make a lot of money.
Well, and Reuters is going to charge that much, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reuters. I like Reuters, but.
So go ahead, Stacey.
But I think what's going to happen is we're going to reach a point where people start hitting all these paywalls and they experience the pain of that. And we're going to come up with new models because they're going to be forced. Right. Remember, this is what competition does. It you get this like pain point, and then people will come out with like aggregators that are like of some sort, and we'll get to that point. It's constantly evolving, and that's good. That's what the web is.
But that's exactly why we never want to get rid of the free tier, because I don't want to put everything. I didn't want to do a paywall per se. Mm-hmm. Now maybe that's crazy because
this is patronage. This is support. This is help. This is fans.
But I noticed
people being involved.
Financial Times, for instance, you can't read their content unless you pay. Wall Street Journal, you can read some limited content, but not all of it unless you pay. Paywalls are definitely a thing. Is that because this idea of freemium doesn't work?
No, because it's a winner-take-all market. One of my numbers below, which I will now sacrifice for the good of the show.
Thank you, sir.
Is a view of all of the news sites that have over 100,000 subscribers. There's 28 of them, adding up to 23 million worldwide, the English-speaking world.
That's a fraction, though, of the total.
It's nothing. It's nothing. And in the U.S., 63% of all subs go to three publications. You know what they are: New York Times, Wall Street Journal.
Yeah. And I subscribe to all three.
It's a winner-take-all model.
Wait, what was the third one?
Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and Washington Post.
Yeah.
I have subscriptions.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't subscribe to any of those.
You're the common man. You're the real man.
Yeah,
well, but see, the thing is, I totally get having these paywalls up because ideally they're going to have legit content out there and legit information, but there's a lot of times that I've been able to click on some of these stories and get a partial view of whatever they're showing before hitting the paywall, and I'm like, this is bad, and it just doesn't warrant.
And I'll bring up this. There is a hazard. Knox Harrington in our IRC chat brings this up. If all the good content sites are paywalled, what will be left for normal unpaying people to pay to read is link bait and crap.
Exactly.
But I'm seeing link bait from some of these reputable sources too.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I'm like, you know what? Why even bother?
It's not all crap. I mean, mine's free. It's more trade, though. I get a lot of people who are cranky that my stuff is too technical for them.
Well, too bad. I mean,
but that's what you do.
So the point is,
what do they expect?
People are just cranky. I got to say, people are cranky about anything. They'll complain about anything. If you're not technical nuts, you'd get just as many people saying, you need to be more technical.
Yes, I get each week. I get someone telling me I'm too technical, and I get someone saying, "Thank you for explaining things so clearly."
Exactly.
So I take it all with okay. You can't please everyone, but I will say there will always be. I do think there's always room for. I'll call it a trade-like publication, because the people my advertisers are happy to reach the people who. Are legitimately focused on my area. And I think there's areas where that model will work.
I think the narrower
that it breaks down.
The narrower your niche, and you have a very narrow niche, the easier it is to do that. I think if you're general, it's harder, right? Because you don't have a natural audience.
That's
well, you have a natural audience. It's just they're not lucrative. They're just like the
it's everybody.
Man.
Yeah.
Right. Well, consider what is considered a frequent user of the New York Times. They had to lower it from 20 pages a month to 10 pages a month to 5 or 3.
Wow.
So that means people who are paying, they can't get them to convert if they only come 3 to 5 times a month, 3 to 5 articles a month.
Yeah.
What are people reading?
I'm stunned.
Well, there's I happen to have in my hand.
What is this, Professor?
Okay, Senator McCarthy, go ahead.
Excellent paper from 3 great researchers, Duncan Watts, David Rothschild, and Marcus Mobius, just published. And it's about fake news. And they found that from 2017, there were 5,000 English language publications, academic papers about fake news. So what they're saying is they think it's maybe a little overblown and what the research we need. But here's some data in this. News consumption is a small fraction of overall media consumption. 14% of overall media consumption is dedicated to news, right? 14%. Less than 1% of regular news consumption and less than 1/10 of 1% of overall media consumption could be considered fake. 3 in 4 Americans spend less than 30 seconds a day reading news online, while almost half consume no online news whatsoever. So we're weirdos. We are really weirdos.
We are.
Oh, okay. We're having fun. It is the best of This Week in Google. I think every week is the best. I love working with Stacey and Ant and Jeff, and we have so much fun together. It's just a great show, and I'm so glad you listen or watch, and thank you for joining us for this holiday. I hope you're having a good holiday. Happy New Year. We'll all be back with the show live, doing new stuff this Wednesday, January 5th, so don't worry. We're not gone for good. We just thought we'd give everybody a little time off. And a special thanks, by the way, to our producers, especially Jason Howell and our editors who put this all together. And thanks to everybody who suggested best of clips. We really appreciate it. Helps. Let's take a look break. We'll come back with a lot more. Our show today brought to you by Wealthfront. You know I'm a big fan of Wealthfront. Not a big fan of the diamond hands, the rocket ship to the moon, the stonk memes. Yeah, that's fun. Okay? So is going to Las Vegas and throwing your money away on the craps table. It's fun. It is not a way to build wealth. I know, I sound like, a cranky old man. But this is what I tell my kids. It's what I wish somebody had told me when I was a young guy. It's fun, but day traders, for the most part, don't beat the market. What you really want to do is get a Wealthfront investment account. You know, save if you want, save a little bit to take and gamble away on stonks. The odds are not in your favor if you're doing it alone. Wealthfront is a great company to team up with. Whether you're a beginner or you've been investing like I have for years, Wealthfront makes it easy. They do it right. And they have the right tools for every portfolio, every need. The first thing that happens when you go to Wealthfront is you answer a couple of questions. What's your time frame? What are you saving for? How risk averse are you? Things like that. And then Wealthfront will create a portfolio just for you, of globally diversified, low-cost index funds, personalized for you, and your goals, your needs, your desires. You can also build your own portfolio if you want. They have funds, some really interesting. There's a clean energy fund, a crypto trust, tech investments. A lot of us think, you know, tech's going to do pretty well in the future. I don't know. Not making a recommendation. Hundreds of other investment choices. One I really like, their socially responsible portfolio. A mix of funds built around human rights and climate change and sustainability, diversity. You'll feel good you're doing the right thing. Wealthfront does things that make it easy to build your wealth. No manual trades. You don't have to look at the newspaper. Does anybody look at the newspaper? You don't have to look at your phone to see the stock ticker. You don't have to pick stocks. They handle all the investing based on your preferences, so you don't have to think about it. But they also do things that you probably wouldn't think to do. Things I know you need to do, like tax loss harvesting, which lowers your tax bill. In fact, in many cases, most cases, I would say that your fees, which are very low to begin with, will actually be covered by the tax loss harvesting they do. They also, I think this is really important, rebalance your portfolio, because sometimes if stocks are doing really well, you get over invested in stocks. So they rebalance it. You're supposed to do that at least quarterly. They do it automatically. So you don't even have to, again, you don't have to think about it. In fact, it's one of those things you set and forget. You're just building your wealth automatically behind the scenes, and it kind of feels good. Wealthfront's trusted with over $27 billion in assets. They're helping nearly 500,000 people build their wealth. And to get you in the door, they're offering, I think it's a great offer, your first $5,000 managed free forever. Just go to wealthfront.com/twig. Please do that, though, so that they know you saw it on TWiG. Wealthfront.com/twig. $500 opens the account. Grow your wealth the easy way. Let Wealthfront do the work for you. Takes all the anxiety out of it. Some would say all the fun. I don't think fun and long-term portfolio building really should go together. You can still have your fun, but let Wealthfront work on building the wealth. Start building your wealth. Get your first $5,000 managed for free for life. Go to wealthfront.com/twig. WEALTH, wealth. That's a good word. Front, FRONT.com/twig. Get started today. Wealthfront.com/twig. Well, thank you, Wealthfront. One of the things that's constantly plaguing This Week in Google is YouTube's automatic content ID system. It's just nuts. Watch. Are you a creator, by the way? You're a creator. I'm a creator. We're all creators. Yeah. So it's a good time.
God's children are creators. Finally, media recognized it. They thought they were the only creators. We're all creators.
You know who else was a creator? Creators. Beethoven.
Segue.
That's a lead into your story, Stacey. Go ahead.
I was like, what is happening here? So this story is both a people suck and a content moderation is hard story, and also that YouTube needs better practices story. So this is from Cory Doctorow. He, let me get the name of the lady right. Sorry. Let me open this up again.
Marina, a piano teacher,
Leo, you were going to do this,
who publishes free lessons. I love Cory, and I love his blog, pluralistic.net. She creates free piano lessons on her Piano Keys YouTube channel. Celebrated her 5th anniversary, Cory writes, by announcing she was quitting YouTube because her meager wages were being stolen by fraudsters. She posted a video with a little bit of Moonlight Sonata, which you might remember. Beethoven published, no, actually, Beethoven did not publish this in 1801. Beethoven wrote it in, I don't know what, 1762, yeah. But it was published in 1801. It's in public domain, in other words. The copyright belongs to Marina. She performed it. Nevertheless, you play or something, you're going to get...
That's for Elise.
That's for Elise, not the Moonlights. I can't hum the Moonlight Sonata. I'm sorry. But it triggered... And I might have just triggered it too. YouTube's automated.
I could play it right now, but then we're going to get taken down.
The Moonlight Sonata is very slow. It triggered YouTube's automated copyright filter. I'm amazed you recognize Fury Elise, though, and you named that tune in 4 notes.
In the 90s, I had a phone that played it. Yeah.
A corporate entity identified only by an alphabet soup of initialisms and cryptic LLC names had claimed Moonlight Sonata as their own, calling it Wicca Moonlight. The content ID flagged Marina's track as an unauthorized performance of Wicca Moonlight. She appealed the judgment. The problem is you appeal. We've had this happen to us. Then they send a message to the copyright owners saying, do you agree that no infringement took place? But of course
they say.
They said no, they infringed it. So she can now let this shadowy company monetize her video, which steals all of the revenue from her. She can take her video down. We are faced with this, by the way, frequently.
I had no idea this was happening. This is so infuriating.
It happens all the time.
This is exactly the problem. This is exactly.
Well, I thought the problem was just that it took your stuff down and you couldn't make money. I didn't realize there was a group of organizations who,
And if you want to fight this, and we've done this, you can fight it. You have to provide them with your full name and address, and then they go and you go back and forth. Ultimately, it'll end in court. But even prior to that, and then we've had people. I don't even want to go into it. But we've had people make, the funniest things ever in their claims against us. We had pictures of the NASA video. We had the NASA launch taken down by National Geographic, who claimed, "Oh no, we own the NASA video." And of course, that was an error, they said. But anyway, this is Content ID. Corey hates Content ID. I hate Content ID. And, it just doesn't work very well. Here is, and I love this, Corey published this from the EFF, Navigating YouTube's Content ID, a little flow chart to help you understand why.
And blame Hollywood.
Yeah.
Blame Hollywood, folks.
Yeah, blame Hollywood, but also I blame the tech companies who thought we could solve this algorithmically.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And it's the algorithm is the problem. It's easily gamed.
The scale.
Yeah.
Bad guys.
Yeah. And I guess if you create something like YouTube where you get, 100 million hours of content every day, how else are you going to do it? I understand.
Well, and you got to be, if you're going to be a platform, one of the costs of being a platform is recognizing that people are going to game it and you have to respond in a way that benefits the core users. Google does it already for search. They're like, oh, shoot, too many people are using weird SEO optimizations. Now we're going to change things.
Yeah.
But what they're not doing is they'll do it for their core businesses, but then they put out these creator platforms and they're not doing it for those businesses. And that's just...
It's a big chilling effect on everything we do. I try to tell our staff, don't worry about it, but it really does create a chilling effect. And we have to constantly say, oh, we better not do that because they'll take us down. Corey also points out that it's really an uneven process. For instance, an Instagram takedown takes a few seconds to file, but 28 months to appeal. And we've had that where they'll take down a video and maybe we can get it back in 2 weeks, but by then, nobody's going to watch the 2-week-old news show. So it's really a problem. There's a Warner Chappelle, Warner Music, demonetizes videos that include the numbers 36 and 50.
Why?
See, they should have bad effects for doing bad things.
Yeah, they should be penalized for overzealous.
Here's a Twitch streamer, Ammunition. Good name. Her videos were demonetized over the use of the numbers 36 and 50. protect copyright holders. The copyright. Did you get copyright? You can copyright the number. Apparently, the media company Fullscreen was simply the claim was simply over the number 36. And you can appeal, and maybe she's probably back. Fullscreen is a social content company for talent and brands. They're owned by Otter Media, a subsidiary of Warner Media. They claim the number 36. I don't know. I
don't understand how you can copyright a number.
Well, they also copyrighted 50. And while the claims are active, before the appeal is accepted, they take all monetization. So, and you can also lose your account. I mean, at the long shot is you can get a strike and lose your account completely.
They should, when they're knocked down, they should have to give back 10 times monetization.
There should be some sort of
like treble damages for being bad.
They call it slap in the lawsuit world.
Exactly.
Yes.
There should be some sort of slap.
But these are also the customers of the big companies, and they are the ones who have the lobbyists and have the lawyers. Yeah. And so they would, they'd go running into Capitol Hill, and we'd have a Sopa Pipa fight again.
It's very
what?
Hollywood's pretty evil.
Sopa Pipa. We don't want to go with Sopa Pipa.
We don't want a Sopa Pipa again, man. That's
we fight them, but the risk to us is that we would get a strike, and too many strikes, we would lose our channels, and that would be a big deal. I freaking hate YouTube. I understand the value of it. It's very impressive that anybody can create video, but it's kind of a mess, and I don't like it affecting what we do as our content. I mean, I can't even hum Fear Elise without fearing that they're going to take it down. Now I got to worry about 36, and Jeff, no numbers with 36 or 50. I'm just telling you.
Okay, all right, okay? Got it. Yeah,
don't want to take that chance.
And no line numbers, 36 or 50.
Let's start our picks of the week. Now, Kevin, you came here at short notice in the middle of the show, so you do have a pick. You're amazing. What is your pick?
My pick is the map of the internet. So you remember XKCD did this a long time ago. Someone's made a current map of the internet. There's a link top right that lets you.
Wow! Look at that.
So it's this huge map with like different land masses with.
It looks like a real map, but it's websites.
And they're scaled to approximate number of users, I think. So you can see. So
there's
you might
browsers.
Find TWiT in there if you look really carefully.
Do you think it's in there? It should be. I would hope so.
You're on the internet.
Oh, wow. This is from halcyonmaps.com. Actually, this is one of those places where I'm going to spend more time browsing their catalog because I love maps. Look at the bottom where Antarctica would be the dark web. Wikipedia is like Greenland.
So I think basically they want you to buy this and put it on your wall, which would be fun. I may well end up doing that.
Here's the Q zone.
Really what you need is something that actually changes over time. So you need a display that links to software that's continuously updating this.
Yes.
Because that would be.
Well, also, I want the version of this in SVG, so I actually search the text in it rather than actually.
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.
But obviously,
if it were a touch screen, you could zoom in.
Here's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, VKontakte, the Russian version thereof, DuckDuckGo.
Zoom is a pretty big island out of the ocean.
Zoom Island, it's a big old one, but not as big as you-know-who, the island of Google. It's actually
not an island, that's a continent.
Googlestan. Yeah, wow. That's really fun. Error correcting plateau. Google Contacts, Android TV. Google has a lot.
That took a lot of work.
Somebody put a lot of effort in this. There's TikTok.
Yeah, this is clearly a major effort. It's a beautiful
Twitch.
Thing.
Yeah.
I think I will get a poster for the wall.
That's pretty cool. And it all looks like one of those old-timey maps of the new world. And then here's a list of major websites blocked in China. Very handy. Top website languages, internet users, percent of population. It is now greater than 90%. Oh no, I see here. This is a smaller map. And Canada is the only one. Canada and the UK are greater than 90%. And we're actually only, I don't know, down in the lower numbers.
No, Canada looks like it's at 70 to 80%.
You think
again? Colors?
Oh, it's kind of a darker blue. Who's 90% then? Who's the darkest blue of all?
Well, I think that's up there in Scandinavia.
Norway. Yeah.
Finland.
All right. Largest companies by revenue, highest selling video games. Tetris number 1, Minecraft number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5 number 3.
Oh, this is the same chart only now. So it was 2006 versus 2. Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
It's changed. Created by Martin Vargic of halcyonmaps.com. Good pick of the week. I love this. I love the colophon, which features 4chan, Google, Susan Wojcicki, Pierre Omidar. That's great. Last time we talked to you, Joan, we were talking about Russian influence on the elections and disinformation. That hasn't gone away. Apparently, yesterday, President Putin said, "Oh, we're not hacking you. You're hacking us."
Oh, okay, right. Sure.
You're hacking us.
That's how this works.
That is one of the tools of the big lie. It's funny because it happens over and over again, and yet nobody seems to notice. Is just accusing the person. What happened?
I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it.
We went black. There we go.
I didn't do a thing.
Oh, you're back.
Is to accuse your opponent of doing the thing you're doing. And it's an amazing rhetorical trick because it gets them to get all twisted in knots defending themselves, and all of a sudden,
it's a combination of projection and whataboutism in the same thing.
Yeah. Projection is a big one. Like, well, everybody, we're hacking you, so you must be hacking us.
I mean, we're not just talking about your sort of garden variety, trolls and botnets online. I mean, hacking the power grid here, hacking infrastructure, hacking
meat. They hacked meat.
Like critical infrastructure. I mean, so it's a little bit different. The stakes are obviously enormous, but at the same time, Putin's always going to pretend he doesn't know what's happening,
right.
But he himself is very fascinated by technology and knows a lot, and so we should always be wary.
He also had an interesting justification for poisoning Navalny. I mean, it's just fascinating to watch this guy, and I hate to say it, but it brought back a little, like, this is where we were for the last 4 years. With a guy who just says anything he wants.
But a guy who's really effing smart.
Well, maybe that's the difference.
I was in the room with him once in Davos. Joan now goes there instead of me.
I haven't been. I heard the hotels, the rent's too high.
The rent's too damn high.
Too damn high.
At the end of the day, you can keep your world power if I save a few $1,000.
So Putin saw a male journalist wearing a what do you call that greenish ring from like Arizona?
Jade?
No, not jade. The
turquoise.
Indian turquoise. Thank you, turquoise.
Yeah.
So wearing a big turquoise ring, and he focused on it. He said, "Do men wear those?" and he wouldn't let go. He kept going back on it again. And the guy's wife had given it to him, and we all try to get the guy to give Putin, make him put it on, but he finds an odd little thing about somebody, and he just focuses in, and he's scary in person.
Yeah. Some people call that trolling, though.
Yeah.
Oh well, his whole nation trolls us.
That was my point, sir.
Yeah.
Putin's response to ABC's questioning him about Navalny was, "Well, Black Lives Matter." It's like,
oh boy.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. It's just anyway. It's not really on our beat, but I think it's great to have Joan on because what is on our beat is the use of technology, particularly the internet these days, to spread lies, misinformation, to mobilize, to radicalize. There's all sorts of malign uses. Now, Jeff is the big defender of big tech, and I don't disagree with him. Big tech. In fact, Joan,
of the internet. I'm defending the internet.
Yeah, but Joan was saying this. You were not here at the moment, but Joan was saying this before the show began. Where would we have been in the last year and a half without Zoom and tech and all that.
Amen. I wrote a thank you note to the internet on Medium 2 weeks ago, and I mean it. I think that we would have been dwarked without it.
But this is our constant battle on this show, but also just in general. There's good in tech and there's bad in tech. You wrote a piece, Joan, for Harvard Magazine, saying disinformation ain't going away. Can it be stopped?
Oh, that was a piece that I was profiled in, and
okay.
Yeah,
the headline,
so there's a couple
Joan,
other researchers in there.
That headline on that piece.
Can disinformation be stopped?
What's your answer to that, Joan?
Well, it as with everything, it depends. One of the things that I think the internet has been fantastic at is helping us route information around the planet, lowering the cost of it. I was just thinking about high fidelity video and how different it is to be isolated, but not necessarily alone in the same way. And I'm wearing my phone losers of America t-shirt here today because I do, I'd still like romanticize the phone and voice and, just the way in which people come to hear and learn from one another. But there is something different about video. And when it comes to disinformation, I think we're dealing with, again, a distribution issue. We're dealing with a content issue. We're dealing with, people who are motivated either through money or clout to, push disinformation around. Obviously, it's politically rewarding to be able to do that. And so I wish I could say in this moment that disinformation can be stopped. I think one thing we have to focus on is figuring out, what should these distribution channels look like, and how should they be run, and who should oversee them, and we got to go from there. Like, we need serious standards and protocols to get at what I've been calling a public interest internet, or an internet that serves the broadest public good.
I don't mean to sound so naive, but I don't think disinformation will ever be stopped as long as there's some form of profit involved, whether it's money, whether it's political power, or power, world domination.
Well, and as Jeff has pointed out, it predates the internet by a long shot.
Since witchcraft, since print.
Yeah. But it's part of that, and maybe it is a little bit more. I mean, look, we've always had, I'm sure in the pre-print, there were Middle Ages, there were conspiracy theories that made the rounds just very, very slowly,
Right.
But as soon as there were newspapers, there's the press wars of the 1820s in the United States.
You go back to ballads. Printed ballads and people going through, and that was the source of a lot of the witchcraft conspiracy theories.
But there is a cynicism that's a little different. In fact, it's interesting you invoked the phone losers of America, John, because I think they're harmless, but they also deal in a form of disinformation, and there's a certain amount of almost cynicism, like a mocking, like we can fool these people because they're stupid, I guess. Patronizing.
Well, I think it's not stupid. I think it's trusting, right?
Which is
a lot
even
of
worse.
Us just
You're mocking people because they're trusting.
Things.
That's terrible.
And I mean, but that's what's so interesting here is we have to change how information is shared and what kind of labels are put on it and how it arrives at our door and what we call news and what we don't call news. I've been a big pusher of trying to get us to think about, well, we have distribution pathways. Social media really favors things that are popular and novel. And so what if we were to also make sure that social media served things that are timely, accurate, local knowledge?
But nobody wants that, right? I mean, that doesn't...
No.
Well, I mean, you don't have to want
Everybody
things
wants dessert.
Them.
Nobody wants the vegetables.
nobody wants water. I mean, like it's nice. It's good to have. Yeah. It's necessary. But like, if you have a choice between water and wine, or water in a martini, or water in, an ice cold seltzer, like I have,
which is what Joan's drinking. Yes.
That's that. But part of it is really trying to figure out in what proportions do we need this. And I think too, so like, if you think about broad stakes of different conspiracy theories, like probably the most broad stakes that most people are familiar with is, this notion of Holocaust denialism. And, a couple years ago, Zuckerberg came out and said that, well, he's not going to remove Holocaust denial on his platform because people have the right to be wrong about things. And later, as we realize how big, anti-Semitic movements get organized and how big they become when they are allowed to exchange information unfettered and reach audiences of people that do not necessarily understand the stakes of what they're reading. And it's, just kind of laced in with, missives from your aunt and your cousin's graduation pictures and your best friend's cat, and Holocaust denialism is just right there in the same mix. Yeah. It's different. And so we do need to think about ranking, sorting, labeling. I think we need more librarians at the helm of the internet.
Amen to that.
I like that.
I don't think it's insurmountable. I just think that there's different ways of thinking about what the solution might be.
It's a big hill to climb. Yeah. All right, Matt. Now you're back in the hot seat because the New York Times says Sundar Pichai sucks. Can a nice guy be an effective leader is the question the Times asks. Daisuke Wakabayashi, talking to restive Google executives, all anonymous, of course, who say that Sundar takes too long to make a decision. We have seen some blog posts. The guy who founded Waze, Noam Bardeen, when he left, wrote a blog post kind of excoriating the Google culture, saying it had turned into a big, slow-moving company. Do you stay in touch with people at Google, Matt, or have you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because even, in the later days when I was at Google, you could definitely feel like getting a change launched was more difficult, of course, than the early days, but also just like, okay, how does it affect, international markets, the search quality in other languages, that sort of stuff. And some people are like, oh, you have to get all of these approvals, but also, it's a natural thing that when you are a really big company with a really big footprint and impact, you're going to have more scrutiny. And that's, it's hard to try to figure out how can you move quickly while still being big. And I don't think anybody's found the perfect solution to that at all. Every time I wrangled or interacted with Sundar, he was always doing a really good job.
I've only talked to him when he was running the Chrome OS division, but I was very impressed by his genial and nature, his intelligence, his candor. I thought he was a really great guy, but that does not necessarily make a great CEO. In fact, it might be the contrary abilities. I have to say, the Times buries about 8 paragraphs in. The Google executives complaining about Mr. Pichai's leadership acknowledge that and say he is a thoughtful and caring leader. They say Google is more disciplined and organized these days, a bigger and more professionally run company than the one Mr. Pichai inherited 6 years ago.
Stacey, you were going to say that, I'll pipe in.
Well, I was just going to say what they're doing is building a story based on an archetype, right? And so you've got the Zuckerberg archetype, which is I don't care about other people. I never apologize. I never think about things. I'm just in it for... I don't know what he's in it for. Anyway, the money, the data, the whatever. And then you've got this sort of thing, which is, he's too slow moving, and very thoughtful and blah, blah, blah. Google's beset by problems and it's slow moving. And it is. It is a much bigger company. It's trying to do a lot more things. But there's two things happening here. One is conflating the person at the top with the fate of the company. And I know that leadership matters. I mean, you look at Intel and you can just watch how leadership has just sucked a company just down the toilet. But I also know that there are many people under him, and Google is a company that from the outside really looks pretty disorganized just in general. So I don't know if I feel like the executives there complaining about Pichai really means much. Does that make sense? And I think the New York Times is kind of making a story to fit a mold that it needs.
Jeff kind of was a little pissed off, actually, as I remember.
Surprise!
Journalistically, I thought I just came. Peter Kafka and I, from Rico, just went back and forth with each other on Twitter. Like, well, I don't know if I could do well in your journalism class. I said, well, maybe not. I think this is based on anonymous reporting. You can write this story about any boss out there. Well, some people like him, some people don't. They don't like how he makes decisions. Any boss there is. And in my tweet, I said, can you scroll up?
Yes, the more I think about this New York Times one-man trend story about Sundar Pichai, the more ridiculous it is, Jeff Jarvis wrote. It could be written about any boss in any organization. Some agree, some disagree, some like, some don't like.
Go up to the prior tweet.
And the initial tweet is, go ahead.
Media, move fast and break things is Silicon Valley evil. Google, our CEO is thoughtful and patient. New York Times, let's do a trend story about Google cracking because it's not moving fast and breaking things.
There is a little contradiction there. Mike Masnick replied to you. He said, how much do you want to bet that if Google had acquired Shopify, we'd be seeing New York Times story about how weak antitrust is that it was allowed to happen? So that's another point, is that the Times has a little bit of a dog in this hunt. But we have said on this show, Mike Elgin said it first, we've said it several times, that Sundar Pichai may not be the right man for the job. Google is making a lot of money. They've doubled their staff. They've tripled their revenues since he took over. But it's making money the way it's always made money, in search and advertising.
Well, you can't abruptly switch. I mean, Google is clearly trying other things to make money. I don't think anyone at Google's like wandering around going, not aware that search one day is going to erode. But I think they're struggling with how to build up that much money again. And part of that's just because they got in early. I mean, it's like you got in early on the web. That gives you untold advantages. And actually, that's why the FTC is in the Congress are looking at antitrust things now, is the companies that got in early in these kind of newly forming networks are raking in the dough. And
well, if they did it well, there's also, of course, Alta Vista and Yahoo are untouchable.
Yes.
Google, to its credit, did really well.
Yes, same as Amazon, also, same as Facebook. Apple's a little of an outlier there, but
Matt,
it's interesting to me that I feel like Larry Page, Sergey, like they hired a lot of really great / smart people in the early days. And then sometimes if Larry or Sergey or even Eric were like, we're going to go down this route, they had enough people who were like, maybe, and it wasn't mutiny, but it was like, we'll just have our backup plan in our pocket where if this thing doesn't work out, we're ready for the next thing. Like you had a really high caliber of people. And I think they've been able to maintain that much better than a lot of big companies that I know of. The one thing I would just add is Google is, it's kind of entering, well, the whole tech industry is entering the lawyer season. Like, the ability to talk well in front of Congress makes a difference and will for the next few years, at least, just because of the spotlight that's coming on big tech in general. And if you compare and contrast or think about Sundar, testifying to Congress versus Larry Page, Larry is brilliant. He's fantastic. He has all kinds of amazing ideas, but he wouldn't be my first pick to go sit down in front of, the Federal Trade Commission or Congress. And it feels like Sundar is pretty well suited for that. Certainly there's areas where he, you might say, okay, well, where's the maniacal vision or something like that. But Sundar does a good job of listening to, the feedback that he's hearing, from what I understand.
I felt kind of guilty raising this whole issue about Sundar Pichai, and I like Sundar a lot, and I like Google a lot. And I think this is a question that's yet to be answered. I do. And I'm sure it is a question we will be discussing further in 2022 on This Week in Google. Hope you're enjoying our best of. There's lots more to come. Jeff Jarvis will never let me live this down. I'm sorry. I like Sudoku problems. Jeff thinks I'm nerdy, but I had some recommendations. I'm sorry. I like them.
I just reloaded my YouTube page right now, and the first things that pop up, it's a Photoshop tutorial, MKBHD.
They know you so
well. Wanda Sykes comedy, because I watch a lot of stand-up comedians. And here's a hands-on photography video. Here's Alex Lindsay. Here's a Clemson replay. It gets me.
All right. That's a good exercise. Let me look at what YouTube recommends for me. TWiT. The Sudoku for people who don't like Sudoku. MacBreak Weekly.
Boy, you are boring.
Another Sudoku video.
Oh, geez.
A woodcock
How do you do a
luring
Sudoku
worms.
video? Wait. Hold on right there. How do you possibly make a video out of Sudoku?
Well, Jeff,
how?
It's fascinating. Actually, this channel.
I thought people making them play video games was boring.
This channel
goes so far beyond.
Cracking
you think that adds up to 9?
12-time reigning Sudoku champ. And he makes Sudokus. It's fascinating.
Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. I couldn't remember what day.
It's really good. I like it.
Oh, Leo,
I don't have any YouTube regrets.
One of the great
I don't have a life, but that's still pretty funny. That's still pretty funny.
Here's for some reason a Nintendo Switch game, Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Chess, Office Hours, Renee Ritchie's Apple ecosystem, how Amy Webb beat her insomnia.
There you go.
Here's some more Sudoku. How to set a classic Sudoku.
Wow.
That's show title.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of Sudoku. Yesterday,
I like to watch tic-tac-toe videos on YouTube. Sometimes somebody's really going to win in a surprising way.
None of this is objectionable, actually. I think YouTube has done an excellent job.
It's just really boring.
No, it's once you start watching, they'll stay.
Oh.
Or they start.
So if I watch one...
Oh, yeah. Wait. Let's watch a Sudoku video and see what it recommends next.
No. They're long videos, as you might imagine.
Well, no, you'll see on the right hand what it would recommend next.
Here, let's see the calculus. This is only 49 minutes. It's pretty quick. The calculus of Sudoku.
Within your page, it'll have what's next.
Where would I see that? Over here?
It's usually below.
I don't know. Why don't you see that? I always see that.
Maybe it's too big. Maybe if I make it a little smaller, I'll see more. I'm in my theater mode.
Theater mode, yeah.
How do I get out of theater mode?
Watch a video to tell you how.
I need a video on how to get out of theater mode.
Hover to the bottom right of the video.
It's a button at the bottom of the video.
There you go.
My mini player, theater mode, full screen. That's theater mode.
Wow.
I don't get any recommendations because I'm happy watching this video.
They know
about Sudoku.
You're monomaniacal.
Actually, I'm not kidding. This is my recommendation for the week. The Cracking the Cryptic channel. And I'm not alone. 372,000 people agree.
That's awesome.
It's the best place for Sudoku videos.
Oh, jeez.
It's very soothing. If you didn't want to be alone in your house, you could have that playing in the background.
I don't think we're getting Sudoku shaming here, and I
want an audit of your suitcase to Hawaii. How many Sudoku books you're taking with you?
I don't need a book. I've got the Cracking the Cryptic app, which has some excellent Sudoku. I wrote a Sudoku solving program,
Oh, boy. Tell us more.
Why did you like to see it?
What scripting language did you use?
I wrote it in Racket. It's not a scripting language.
But it's chat going crazy now with Sudoku shaming.
Oh, there's nothing wrong. Sudoku is mathematics. It's good. It's good for your brain. It's good for you.
Cool.
Yeah, it's
I'm just not good at it.
No, it's fun.
That was fun.
What the hell was that?
What was that?
Stacey, do you need a waffle? Is your stomach talking to you?
No, it's a dog.
Waffle.
It's not me.
Kylo's asleep.
Oh, he's dreaming.
Having a dream.
Oh, he's snoring.
He's dreaming.
Oh, that's so sweet.
He's chasing something in his dreams.
If you had a little camera, I'd have you move it so we could see, but you can't.
That's so cute. Camera. He has it. You didn't remove his vocal cords or anything. He can bark normally, right?
Oh yeah, he can definitely bark normally.
Okay. But he's just in his dreams. He barks like a dream.
Yeah. Now he sounds like a small dog when he's not.
I do have a close-up picture provided by Matthew in our Discord chat.
Yeah, add about another 90 pounds or so to that dog. And you'll have Kylo.
Thank you, sir. He's dreaming of biting Rand Paul, says CR1 in our chat room.
You got him worked up.
That's what I sound like. Also, I'm glad you're back because we can now do the official introduction in three-part harmony for Mr.
Or
Jeff,
disharmony, as the case
disharmony for Jeff Jarvis. He is, ladies and gentlemen, the Leonard Tao Professor for Journalistic Innovation at the Newmark. Whoa! Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York.
Oh!
Look who's appeared. Stacey, look at that. It's like Beetlejuice.
She didn't notice.
It's like Beetlejuice.
What is happening?
We summoned you from the pigeon party.
We've summoned you. We've summoned Craig Newmark to join us. That was a little weird, wasn't it? Wow.
Excellent placement.
Hi, Craig in the sky.
Hi, Craig.
That's good stuff.
It's like the great and powerful Oz. Holy, I was looking at the Discord while y'all sang, and then poof.
This is my new idea of surveillance.
It's Craig Newmark.
I don't have enough Google cams up.
Eye in the sky.
At least he's up front about it.
I love it. Let's actually widen the shot and bring Craig down from his perch in the pigeon cam.
That was a brilliant job.
You now have named that position. It's the pigeon position.
Cam.
Yeah. Craig is, of course, the Craig of Craigslist, but lately has been a great philanthropist, and among other philanthropies, the Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York. That's why we sing
Craig
your
Newmark
praises.
Graduate School of Journalism. We sing it every week.
Every week. Hi, Craig.
Hey, it's my pleasure to be here. I really do listen to the show fairly religiously. I'm very much looking forward to the Moral Panic Gutenberg drinking game.
There you go.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Ant has put up Moral Panic.
Triggered it.
Okay.
Craig, it's funny because
it's not water.
We invoke you all the time. What was it? Not water.
It may not be water.
Okay.
Oh, inquiring minds gotta know.
It's after 5 p.m. You're in New
he's
York,
on the East
right?
Coast.
Yeah, it's okay.
Pigeon milk.
I am in New York now, in pretty much our new home. New York, as it turns out, is much better for my health.
Really?
Bagels. Because they got bagels.
Well, mostly I eat less badly. In San Francisco, I would tend to fill up a refrigerator for the day, but I have little discipline. I practice the seafood diet, and that's not good to lose weight. In New York, I get a little food, but if I want more food, I have to decide if it's worth putting on pants.
So you're on the no pants diet, as actually the
whatever substitute for self-discipline works, I'll do.
I can't go out because I don't have any pants.
No pants diet.
So are you in Manhattan?
Yes, we're pretty much in the Village.
Oh, nice.
Even in the window, you see a little bit of a bird feeder. Pigeons have been sporadically trying to get into it and fighting among themselves.
I saw them earlier, actually.
Yeah, I want to see some pigeon action here.
Wait, are there any other birds in New York other than pigeons? I mean, I lived there, but I never saw anything else. The ducks.
There are doves, and we have the occasional sparrow, cardinal, tufted titmouse, and a few others like that.
Craig, are you a bird watcher?
Pretty half-assed. We put out food and water. If the birds decide to visit us, that's good. San Francisco, a lot more variety. We've seen a lot of the wild parrots.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
Craig's a bird lover.
Bird lover.
And we should note that Craig today, just before, announced, hold on, where is it here, Craig?
A whole new philanthropy.
Pigeon philanthropy.
Yeah. What is that? What is that?
So
Say more
Craig
things.
gave a grant to Palomacy. Is that how you say it, Craig?
Yeah.
Una paloma blanca. Paloma is a dove, yeah?
To continue pigeon and dove rescue work for pigeonrescue.org.
Aw.
Wow.
Yeah. I figure there are successor species. I should suck up to them.
Do you also invest in robots?
I know, but I hedge my bets. I also have welcomed our machine overlords.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So that's really, this is kind of what you do now day in, day out. You don't run the daily operation at Craigslist, or do you?
Well, I gave that job up in the year 2000.
Wow.
Because people helped me understand that as a manager, I suck. And I've retired. I retired a few years ago, particularly considering that I'm just short of 70 now.
What? You don't look that old. I'm not blowing smoke. You don't. I would never have thought that.
No, you're not that close, Craig.
I'm
not going to let you.
I'll be 69 soon, but I need to desensitize myself.
Yeah, you're getting used to it, is what you're doing.
Yeah,
I know.
He's 1 year older than I am.
I know.
And he's trying to put me closer to 70.
Craig, I'm 64, and I do the same thing with 65. Yeah, I've been preparing myself for that for years. It's not easy. Not easy. Not
Make
easy.
sure you sign up for the appropriate parts of Medicare.
I did.
Very good.
Because there's a penalty if you don't. I was telling the crew I did that yesterday, which is difficult.
Yeah.
So you're full time in philanthropy then, basically.
Yeah.
And you have done a lot of things, but it seems somewhat of a focus in journalism.
Well, right now, from my point of view, and my background is computer sciences, somewhat abstract, I'm looking at information warfare in different forms. The big priorities these days are like helping with cybersecurity, fighting disinformation, or as the cool kids call it, influence operations, and also countering harassment, first focusing on the worst of it, which is directed against women journalists. There's other areas, including helping vets, women in tech, and as you've seen, pigeon rescue.
Wow.
By the way, here is the site Palomacy. It's pigeon diplomacy at pigeonrescue.org.
While you're at it, Google Craig Newmark and pigeons, and there's some great pictures you'll see. Craig gets up close and personal with pigeons.
I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, I mean, some people think of them as flying rats, but I guess, Craig, you're an open-minded fella.
Well, those were stunt pigeons.
Okay,
when they
good. Good.
As it turns out, pigeon pants is a thing. They're diapers, and you want the pigeon to be wearing the diaper before it flies onto your shoulder to coo lovingly. I've learned that the hard way.
100%. Yeah.
Note to self.
I'm just glad you explained that the diapers were for the pigeons. I was unclear at the beginning, and now I understand.
Well, when you get to a certain age,
a little bit better. A little bit better what you're talking about.
I'd rather call them pigeon pants than depends. I like this.
We know how much Aunt Pruitt loves TikTok musicals, and I'm sure that's why
I put this on here
Jarvis,
just for him.
Are you kidding me?
Just for Aunt.
When I say I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like, what comes to mind?
I don't know. Wizard of Oz?
Nothing. It's the Grace.
I don't know why
it's.
I could be blue. I could be violet.
Is this a Grace Kelly?
Sky, I could be.
Is this from a movie? A Grace Kelly movie?
I don't know where it's from. I just know it's all over Twitter or TikTok.
Is this Yentl or something other?
Sounds like Yentl.
People do. They record. One person can record all the parts, or two people can record all the parts, and so it's quite popular. You could go down below the one you're going to show and show why it's popular.
I'll show you. I show the girls doing
collaborative is the key.
Yeah, here's some girls. This is called the Grace Kelly Singing Challenge.
I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like.
It's like a round.
Oh, yeah.
I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet.
Well, it can just be one person singing.
Yeah.
I like
it's
it though
cool
when it's
that
in
they
harmony.
have this in a daggum mobile app. It's cool. They have
I know, isn't that great?
I have to say I'm a TikTok fan. My son now has 200,000 plus followers and millions of views on every video. So I'm a believer. So anyway, the reason
I'm a sucker for these. They're all pretty to listen to.
I love them. I love the singing ones. So apparently, I didn't know this, but Ryan Reynolds, who is of course,
this happened yesterday.
the owner of Mint Mobile,
Don't give away the surprise.
and Will Ferrell are working together in a movie called A Christmas Carol. And Ryan Reynolds decided, as long as he's got nothing to do, because this is the problem, frankly, being on a movie set, you got a lot of free time in between takes. So he thought he'd try it himself.
I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple.
You layer it on.
Oh, I see.
Like an editor.
Brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful.
That's pretty good. He's a good singer.
I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue.
And Will Ferrell walks in and does the high part.
I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be hurtful.
That's pretty damn good.
That's really freaking good.
I hope this Christmas Carol is a musical.
That's really freaking good.
Yeah, apparently it is a musical, so I guess they can both sing.
Oh, and it's going to start like in musicals.
That would be happen. No, negative, sir. No. That was good though. I give credit where credit's due. That to be able to do this inside of a mobile app is
we're going to make him a TikToker sooner or later.
That's why TikTok is so amazing, because it enables that kind of collaboration and remixing, and it's just it's a new level of content creation.
Yeah.
So wait, I've got a better stuff. For you, Ant. I will say. No, well, I was going to say, because I thought of Ant this week, actually. I realized I finally learned how to do makeup. And everyone was like, oh, just watch a YouTube tutorial.
I was just going to say, Stacey, you look really good today.
Oh, thank you. I did not, I didn't, I don't have contour, but I finally learned how to do contour.
I was just going to say, I didn't want to say anything.
A little late.
No. I noticed right away. I wanted to be, because I know people, Stacey, nobody likes it personal, but
that's true.
Given that you've raised this point, whatever you're doing, it's working.
Well, I had an event earlier, so that's all.
Oh, okay.
But YouTube gave people infinite time, so their makeup tutorials were killer. I was like, I do not need to watch someone for 10 minutes. But for like a minute, people can get everything I need. And so, yeah, I'm like, screw YouTube. TikTok's where it's at.
Well, and as we mentioned last week, TikTok has more viewing now. People spend more time watching TikToks than they do YouTube videos, and that's probably why.
Short attention span.
And I talked to my son a lot about this because he's really become the TikTok master. He's now my teacher on TikTok, 250,000 followers and growing fast. You can go up to 3 minutes. But he's found that it's better if they're shorter. So, by the way, today he posted a video 4.6 million views so far. This one we showed. I thought we showed this one last week.
I would like to eat that.
He's one of the things he does is he's big on sound effects.
People love those sound effects.
Natural sound. Foley, ASMR, whatever you want to call it. He's the master. The other thing he does, and I talked about this, is it's not clear when it's looping. So people watch it over and over and over again because they're not sure it got to the end. And
it's like a high-quality GIF.
He does that very consciously.
How long does it take to edit one of those?
Half a day. So here's his most recent. This is a duck sandwich.
It's pretty good.
Nice choice of music for this one.
I know. I told him that. I said, Edith Piaf. Wow.
I just want the onion.
Although I've heard it, I think, a couple times on some of my videos, so maybe it's just
I asked him how he figured out what music places. I just listen to Spotify a lot and try to find something that works with the thing. So
plus, it's the real sound too.
The real sound is what's key. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 8 million views, 7.5 million views, 3.5.
So I was asking you before, and we got interrupted ourselves. How do you turn that into a living?
I keep asking that. I try not to be that dad because, when I was when his mom and I got married, his mom's brother said, "Don't marry a DJ. Those guys, they're the worst. They're not going anywhere."
Just a subtle nudge.
Yeah. So, but that's true, and I realized I was doing the same thing with him. Oh, come on, don't. That's not real media. But it is real media. This is modern media.
He could get invited to the Met Gala next year.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I hope he wears that sweatshirt and sunglasses and the cheesy porn stash, all of which we try to discourage him from wearing. My mom, 88-year-old mom, says, "Don't wear a hat, Henry. You're so cute. Why are you wearing a hat?" But I just tell her, Mom, it's a different generation,
Yeah.
So, but I'm we worked out this morning together. I'm always querying him, what are you learning? And he's really paying close attention to the feedback that he gets, both from comments, but also views, and is tuning it slowly closer and closer to, and you can see that it makes a difference.
Jeez.
It really does.
What kind of metrics do they give him besides just views? Is there anything?
I'll have to ask him. I don't know. So you asked how do you make money? So there's a couple of ways to make money.
Yeah.
TikTok's ads are not interstitial. They're not in your video, right? So unlike YouTube, you don't have pre-roll, post-roll, mid-roll. So there's nothing tied to your video. So you don't get any of that ad revenue. It's like Instagram. It's every few videos there's an ad. Now, I see a lot more big brands on TikTok. So TikTok's doing suddenly very, very, very well. But they do have a $100 million creators fund. So that gets parceled out. But he's got 4 million views, maybe $600. So it's not a big.
Wow.
So that
sounds like YouTube money.
No, yeah, but what TikTok does, because they know they're not sharing revenue with you, they allow you to have ads, so you can sell your own ads in there, and the CPMS are something like $5, which if you have 7 million views is $7,000.
Nice.
Is that right? No, it's 30. I don't know. $5 per thousand.
Chat room.
7 million is 7,000. $35,000. That's a lot of money. Is that right? Could that be right? $35,000. So
save us, please.
It's a lot of money.
Stacey, can you do it?
No, I just did it. That's right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was signing up for the Pixel Superfans Club because I'm like, we're going to talk about Google eventually. Yeah. Hold on. I'm sorry. Math.
So Scooter actually saying that the U.S. TikTok Creator Fund is actually now, they plan to spend $200 million over the next 12 months, August to August 2020 to 2021, and will be upwards of $1 billion in the next 3 years, and more than double that globally. They have to, because otherwise creators, that's what killed Vine. You got to share that money back, or creators go, we'll go somewhere else. And he told me YouTube Shorts is doing this too. So, nevertheless.
Is he cross-posting it to anywhere other than...
Yeah, he puts it on Instagram as well. And I told him, do YouTube Shorts. Why not? What's wrong? Why wouldn't
Why not?
So I don't know if he's going to. I don't. But the next step for him would be to going out and selling ads.
Wow.
Or signing a deal with having a knife company or a chopping block company or pan company.
He's going to be...
Sur la table.
Exactly.
And then he just goes and does cooking demos.
Exactly. He's going to be a guest poster on the Tastemade Instagram this week.
Right.
Tastemade's big.
Ooh.
That's a big Instagram.
Yeah.
That's branding there.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think next year we'll see what I'd be saying about my son. Yeah. Don't be a TikTok star. They don't make any money. I might be wrong. I think it's not influencers. He's a content creator. And actually, my feeling is even if he doesn't make money on TikTok, the skills he's getting are useful and will get him, plenty of.
That's the one thing I can say about TikTok is the way it puts constraints on the content creator.
It's good.
Telling you, okay, I need to create content that is 60 seconds long, that is going to make people want to stop to click on it, first of all, and then make them want to watch it all the way through for 60 seconds, and then make them want to say, hey, did you see this? Let me show this to you. That's pretty daggum challenging, and not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
It's iambic pentameter.
It is.
Yeah.
Right? It's the limits
the
of poetry and art, the constraints make the art.
Yep.
Yeah, so true.
And it also means,
wait,
and
Jeff?
This is true of YouTube and Twitter and everything else. If you're going to be a content creator, you have to work your ass off. You have to post every day. You cannot stop. It's a content machine. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Stacey.
No, I was just going to say, Jeff, how does this relate back to Gutenberg?
Wait a minute. Give him time.
Hold on.
Give him time.
You asked.
Since
you asked, actually, 2, 1. Shakespeare found that verse sold better than prose.
Interesting.
And so Shakespeare was the first major, the first playwright who ended up with a real market in printed plays. So around the same time that Montaigne invented the essay and Cervantes the modern novel, and a guy named Johann Carolus the newspaper, all around 1600, Shakespeare proved the market for printed plays, since you asked.
If you don't mind, I'd like to take us back to the 21st century.
She asked.
I'm just teasing. I love it.
I could go on.
I love Shakespeare.
Today, Amazon announced a limited edition $229.99 Echo Studio featuring Billie Eilish's cover art for Happier Than Ever.
Oh, God, who cares? Who the hell wants that? All right, you want to see it? Here's what it looks like. You can have an emo teenager smooning away on your Echo device. I guess if you're really a big fan of Billie Eilish.
It just seems so niche, and I guess it's just a cover print job.
Clearly it is.
But I don't understand. I'm curious about the economics of this and why Amazon's doing something like this on hardware. Because,
well, didn't they have a children's Echo? Remember they have
a children's Echo, and they actually did a line of Echo, smaller $99 speakers that were the Diane von Furstenberg and 2 other designers that you could buy with their imagery on their Echoes.
It's a little expensive. Is $230 the normal price for an Echo Studio?
Yes, they're usually $250, aren't they?
Yeah, this is $30 more, says the headline.
Just for Billie Eilish. I would buy it for the kitsch factor, frankly. People I know would come and say, why do you have some woman's face on your...
Who knows? Maybe Shutterfly will start to allow us to print out our own, photos on an Echo show. Or Echo Studio can
it's clearly for the massive Billie Eilish fan, right?
There are a lot of Billie Eilish fans out there, y'all.
There are.
Definitely they are.
Oh, wait a minute.
Sure.
The Echo Studio is $200. This is $230. So yeah, you're right. $30 more.
$30 more.
Okay. It also comes with 4 months of Amazon Music, which does not seem like a smoking deal to me.
It should come with lots of Billie Eilish music. You get 6 months to Amazon Music Unlimited.
Oh, 6 months.
And you can listen to Happier Than Ever in spatial audio.
It's the only thing you can listen to on this device is that album.
Over and over and over again.
Because you're a big enough fan to have Billie Eilish on your device itself, so they figure that's probably what you want.
Here's what it would look like on your Billie Eilish desk with your Billie Eilish poster and your Billie Eilish wallpaper. It's really funny.
It's a puzzling device. That's why I brought it up, because I'm like, who is this?
Doesn't make much sense.
How expensive is it to make? What was the conversation?
If even like Alexa could be Billie Eilish's voice, that would be cool. But no, they haven't done that.
That makes sense though, because that's a digital product, but this is a physical product. It's going to sit there forever. I thought I was flummoxed.
Flummoxed, I tell you. Flummoxed.
You probably don't want Alexa whispering to you is the thing. So you probably don't want Billie Eilish's voice,
She talks like this. She
does lots of whispering, whisper singing.
She's ASMR.
Also joining us, Jeff Jarvis, who we have to do the full introduction here, and I've got it. It's a mouthful.
It's become tradition,
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
And it's a little special today. The Leonard Tao Professor for Journalistic Innovation at the
Craig
Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York, and the director of the Townite Center for Entrepreneurial Journalism at the I love it. Graduate School of Journalism at the City University of New York. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
And let us give credit. Do we have the credit ready for who did that?
Absolutely, we do. Jake Overton sent us this barbershop quartet version. You know what would be really cool? There's probably a lot of people that watch and listen to this show that also are musically inclined. It'd be pretty sweet if like everybody did their own little version of this. But anyways, Jake, I think first one, notable for that.
And so Craig Newmark himself in Twitter, in the response to this offer, said that he had Craig Newmark sounds himself, but his wife wouldn't let him share them.
I see he's still doing that crowd work in his community gig, in his comedy gig.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. We finally have a tune to play, so you can save your pipes. You don't need to sing it this week. Although we'll be doing a lot of talking. Moment. So. Yeah, right. Well, maybe in the future we'll all tag along. Although that's kind of hard to do, like do a harmony with something being played on the internet. It's always
on TikTok. Out of time. You know what we should do? We should put it on TikTok and see what people can do with it.
There we go. Make it a meme. Of course. Let's make it happen.
Yes, I think we're going to continue to sing Craig Newmark's praises every time we mention his name on the show. I think it's the contractual obligation. I don't know. I think Jeff makes us do it anyway. It was so much fun having Craig Newmark on the show. That was one of the highlights of this year's episodes. I think this is a fun show. We had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed listening to our best of episode. Stacey, Ant, Jeff, and I will all be back next Wednesday, January 5th, for a whole new This Week in Google and a whole new year. Meanwhile, I hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. I wish you the happiest of New Year's. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for listening, for watching, for subscribing. That just helps us a lot. And for those of you who are Club TWiT members, and a special thanks, because that $7 a month you pay for ad-free versions and the Discord and the feed really goes a long way. Really helps us. We can really safely say this show is brought to you by listeners like you. Have a wonderful, safe, and happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year to you all. We'll see you next time on This Week in Google. Bye-bye.